Welcome in, everybody, to Rock'em Sock'em Power Rankings Week 15. Let's get rocking. What's up, Scotty boy? How was your week so far?
My week has been great. We've been working hard here at Sudden Death, and I'm getting ready for the Power Rankings Week 15. A lot of movement.
Yeah, me too. I mean, week's been busy. Obviously, as you guys can see over my shoulder here, I've been hanging Christmas lights and things like that all week. So we're getting ready to have some power rankings fun, though, because, this is where we like to relieve some stress, me and Scott. We come out, we work hard all week, and then we sit down and we just like to beat each other up for about 10 minutes. And it really just makes the day a little easier to tolerate, right?
Yeah, it looks like Santa's giving you a nice golden shower back there.
Hey, Santa does what he does. The man needs to pee from time to time. I don't mind if he uses my roof to pee off of. He actually spelled his name really elegantly in the snow too, so it turned out really nice. What do you think of your power rankings this week, man? I mean, after last week, dude, how do you feel?
I think it's tightening up a little bit. Couple teams did some cliff dive. So
Yeah. Did things change? Did things change a little bit for you, Scott?
Yeah, they changed a little bit. Yep, they changed a little bit.
Yeah, let's go look exactly how they changed, because this is a week where I get to do a lot of let's call it humble bragging, which, as you guys know, I'm really good about being a humble person. Like, that's just kind of my personality. I'm not the type to brag about victories and things like that. But as we go and look into Week 14's power rankings, I just really want you guys to notice a few things here, because I feel like you might see a little deja vu. Scott, after last week, do you feel like you maybe just kind of made a slight mistake with your power rankings, or are you still standing by what you were at?
No, I'm still standing by where I'm at. I mean, we'll talk about the Colts later, and you can't predict injuries, and if it wasn't for Daniel Jones' Achilles, maybe your number 8 ranking would have looked pretty bad.
I mean, I don't know about all that. I don't really think that they were going to win that game, even if Daniel Jones stayed healthy throughout the rest of it. So you can say that if you want to say that, just to justify your rankings. But I mean, as you will see coming up, somebody saw the writing on the wall a little earlier than Scott did, and well, I don't want to go too crazy about bragging. Let's just go ahead and roll right into it and see where we're at after a wonderful week of football. We're going to start out with our 6 through 10s. I had Lions at 10, Bills at 9, Bears at 8, Niners at 7, and Packers at 6, while Scott's got the Bills at 10, Lions at 9, flip-flopping my 2, Niners at 8, Bears at 7, flip-flopping my 2 there, and Texans at 6, and Packers at 6. So, I mean, really not a whole lot of differences there, Scott. The team that really jumped up, obviously, you love giving me mess about moving a team out and then all the way up to 6, but I did it again. And so, I mean, but it worked out last week, and I have a feeling it's going to work out again this week. So to me, I think it's right where it should be. You got anything else that you want to say here before we get into the nitty gritty? I mean, not a whole lot of differences here with us, other than you moving the Texans back up to 6 where they should have been last week.
Yeah, I'm moved them up a little bit. I mean, they're 7-2 in the conference. They've on a 5-game win streak, and they've got 5 quality wins against teams with a plus record. So their defense is solid. Woody Marks looks really good, and CJ Stroud's back. So I like the Texans. I like their defense a lot. The offense is pretty good. To me, it's just somewhat average, but some teams with good defenses, a good defense can carry you very deep in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And I think I agree with you, man. I think the Texans belong in the top tier of the power rankings. As you can tell by my number 5 ranked team, those Houston Texans. And then look at your number 5 ranked team, those Packers. We're playing a lot of hopscotch right here, me and you, back and forth across the board so far. We're too close to really battle it out on this one. This is more one of those rounds where we just kind of danced around each other and maybe threw 1 or 2 jabs and then sat back in the corner and said, yeah, now that I got that rest out of the way, I can start boxing again.
Yeah, we're getting close to the playoff push. So I think our rankings are going to tighten up a little bit. We know by now that the teams that are really somewhat solidified in the playoffs, now it's basically just like Are they going to be the 1 seed? Are they going to be the 7 seed? Basically, that's what it's going to be looking like for probably the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I think if we go into number 4, though, we're going to start seeing some discrepancies that are really going to turn this into a little bit more of a battle. I've got 4. That's where I got my Seahawks at, number 4. So Scott's got the Broncos at 4. We're going to find out if we're playing hopscotch again or not on the next one. But I think the Seahawks belong at 4. They're doing really good. I just still don't think that it's not their fault that they're not higher for me. It's just that the other teams above them are just doing that much better than them at this point. But they're right on their heels, nipping away. So, Scotty, you got the Broncos, man. Tell us why you got your Broncos at number 4 when they are literally sitting at the top of the AFC right now.
Yeah, I mean, they beat up on a bad Raiders team last week. I'm still not buying into the running game. I mean, I think when you get in the playoffs, you really need to run the ball. RJ Harvey, I don't think he can really run between the tackles as well. He's more of a scat back. So running the ball could be an issue if teams play a lot of, press coverage, against the Broncos and force them to try to run the ball. Their defense with Surtain back is good. And like I said, they're still a top 5 team. I just don't quite have them in the top 3 just yet. I want to see them beat a really good team like, what the next 3 teams ahead of me that I picked have done. And we'll look at that. I mean, in the next slide.
Well, you're going to get your chance because their schedule coming up is probably one of the more difficult schedules of all the teams.
Yeah, we're going to see if they're going to push for the number 1 seed.
100%. All right, at number 3, I have the New England Patriots. And Scott's shaking his head over there because he wants me to have them higher. But no, man, this is where they're going to stay until they beat the Bills next week. Now, if they beat the Bills next week, I said if, not when, if, because I don't think it's going to happen. But if they beat the Bills next week, then, yeah, maybe I'll move them up again and put them at least back up to number 2. But right now they live at number 3 in my rankings, and that's just all I have to say about that. Moving on over to your side, though, you've got those Seahawks there. So we did a little hopscotch with the exception of me having Patriots instead of Broncos sitting there. What do you think about the Seahawks at 3 instead of the Patriots at 3? Obviously, you have them higher. So
I moved them up because of their point differential. They're plus 161. They've scored 387 points, which is really high, and 226, which shows how good their defense is. They're on a 3-game win streak, and their defense is playing lights out. Sam Darnold, sometimes you'll see ghosts in the first half. Second half, no ghosts. So
could you stop bringing up the man's ghosts? Okay, that was so long ago, dude. It's like fetch. It's not going to be a thing anymore.
Ghosts hang around with you forever. They're always in your life. Once you finally see them, they follow you forever. I love their offense, and not only because of the best receiver in football, which is JSN, but they have a great 1-2 punch and Charbonnet, ex-Michigan great, and Ken Walker, ex-Michigan State great.
What was that, Scott?
I don't know. I forgot what I said. They got the best receiver in football, and they got a really stellar defense. So I moved them up just slightly past the Broncos. It was tough, but I did.
Hey, our friend over at FanCred, Armin, would love to hear that whole discussion right there because he's a big Seahawks guy. Going at number 2 for me, this is where I have those Broncos, man. Like you're suspect of their run game, but that defense is, nothing masks a bad run game like a good defense and a quarterback that can get those third downs when you need it. And that's kind of what they're doing right now. So I think the Broncos deserve to be in the second spot here at top of the AFC. They're in the lead in their conference, potentially chasing that bye. So, and I think it's a lot of the same arguments you could make for your Patriots at this point. So I'm not going to go too bad on them. I already talked about them on my number 3 slot. So why don't you go ahead and give us your kudos to the Patriots that you want to so badly?
Well, I mean, the Patriots are one of the best teams in football. I mean, they've won 10 games, 6-2 in the conference, plus 110 point differential. They've one of the teams that do have 11 wins along with the Broncos. So, and Mike Vrabel, I mean, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it, and he's doing a great job coaching. He's definitely.
Are you finally turning a corner? Because I know you've never been a real fan of Mike Vrabel. Is this finally a point where you're going to turn a corner?
I mean, I may have to. I mean, it's he never really had a good quarterback in Tennessee, and he still was able to have a pretty good team. But I don't know if this team is better or worse than that team that he had in Tennessee. I mean, so we'll see what happens. I mean, they have a huge game against the Bills. I think if they can put the final nail in the coffin for the Bills, they should get the number 1 seed going forward, in my opinion. They need to get Travion Henderson involved a little bit more. You win playoff games in this time of the year with the run game and a good defense, and the Patriots have that. So that all I'm really saying with Mike Vrabel is please get more Hendo involved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. I definitely would like to see him utilize the better back in that offense. I still just I don't understand why he refuses to play him more and just keeps putting Ramondre Stevenson out there.
But going back to the Patriots defense, they have a shutdown corner now. It's Christian Gonzalez. I mean, he's a stud. Not many people are talking about him, but he's pretty much can shut down the one side of the field, just like Patrick Surtain. So,
yeah, I mean, he's definitely a good player, been under the radar for a while now, and he's finally getting the kudos he deserves. Going back to number 1, baby, you guys are going to see a familiar team up here at number 1. I had him up there last week. Scott should have had him up there last week. He didn't. He felt bad about it, so he went ahead and corrected his mistake and put the Los Angeles Rams at the number 1 spot. Now, Scott, I seem to remember somebody saying I wasted everybody's time last week by having the Rams at number 1, and how he apologized to the audience for having to listen to my 30 seconds of love that I gave those Los Angeles Rams at the number 1 spot. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday to explain to these people why you went ahead and wasted their time telling them that I was a waste of time.
I'm not going to go back and explain any of that, but I'm just going to tell you about the Rams, and the Rams deserve to be number 1. What I saw last week, and I really digested that game. I really watched that game at all 3 phases, and I think they're the most complete team in the NFL right now at all 3 phases: special teams, defense. They have a MVP candidate quarterback in Matt Stafford. Now they have 2 running backs that are viable with Blake Corum, ex-Michigan great. They have 2 receivers with Devontae Adams leading the league in touchdowns, Puka Nacua. They're just so dominant. They got, I mean, one of the best coaches in the league, and they're just firing on all cylinders. So I don't know. They're going to be a tough out. And as long as they can stay healthy, and now with this expanded running game that they have, I think they're really going to be a hard team to beat. So, I mean, it was still between the Rams and the Patriots for me. It's like as far as 1-2, to me, I think you can kind of interchange them. But I had to move the Rams to number 1 especially after seeing the running game last week. Just like now they have 2 backs.
I mean, Scott, the fact that you won't acknowledge your loss from last week just tells me that I was right. And, you know, I really am not the type to sit here and just toot my own horn, but toot, baby. Because Scott is totally wrong. And he comes back groveling at the Rams' feet, telling them, "Oh, you're the greatest thing in football." And
it's not like I had him like down at like number 5 or anything. I had him at number 2. I just moved him up 1 spot.
Well, you should have never moved him out of number 1, buddy. If you're keeping score so far, I think I got a 2-round lead over Scott at this point, and we'll see what happens next week. But as of right now, I think your boy is domination station. So let's see how it plays out this week. We got some great matchups. Things are going to change again next week. It's going to be a really interesting turn of events. Hey, well, thank you guys for joining us today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and come back next Tuesday for the live press box show. It'll be our last show before the holidays, so you guys definitely want to tune in for that one. Thanks again, and we will see you guys next time.